guys, it's Way here, and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to bring you guys a video on all of the latest transfers on Ultimate Team. These are actually going to be probably the last or second to last batch of transfers added to the game, because obviously the transfer window has closed. Now I do not have all of them in this video here. There are a couple of smaller transfers, and there are some, such as Slimani to Leicester, that haven't yet been added into the game, so I'll probably do my last video on the new transfers when they get added in. But yeah, there are a load of great players in this video. There's a new 5-star skiller in the Premier League. There's obviously David Luiz to Chelsea. There are some massive deals. There are some very late deals, so you may not have even heard of, that happened on deadline day. So yeah, we've got tons of new cards, some really good ones for FIFA 17 as well. We start off with KONOPLYANKA, one of my favourite players on this game, and he's actually moved to Schalke, so now he's going to get a link to people like Baba Rahman, the left back. You can get some strong links there. Also to Kevin Prince Boateng, to a lot of decent players who do play for Schalke, which is probably going to be slightly better now for building hybrids and teams around him than it was in the Liga BBVA. But yeah, he's got a great card, and he's going to be playing for Schalke. He might actually get an upgrade on the next FIFA, because he had like 3 informs this year as well. Was playing pretty well. We then have Sofiane Boufal. This guy's one of my favourite 5-star skillers on the game. Sadly, he has moved to a left winger. He used to be a central player as a cam. I used him a lot as his false 9 in the false 9 formation. But yeah, he's got very good stats, great pace, good dribbling. He's likely to have quite a big upgrade, because he did get a Team of the Season card this year. And yeah, he has moved right there to Southampton. We then have Iliaquim Mangala going on loan from Man City to Valencia, so another French centre-back in the Liga BBVA. There are quite a few now, and he's actually going to get a strong link to a brand new Valencia centre-back who's also moved in this transfer window, who you will see later on, but he has got a pretty nice card right there. We'll also have Roberto Pereira. This guy's gone to Watford from Juventus, and he's got an amazing card. A lot of you will have probably used this guy. He does get a hyperlink to Dybala on FIFA 16, but yeah, he's one of the best centre mids on this game for kind of a cheap play. He's got great all-round stats, and he should be a pretty good player on FIFA 17 as well in the BPL. We then have David Luiz, quite a kind of controversial transfer. Never really expected this to happen. He's actually moved back to Chelsea from PSG. They sold him for like 50 million 2 years ago. Now he's come back for around 30 million. And yeah, a lot of people aren't racing him, especially Chelsea fans too. Chelsea fans were very surprised they actually managed to sell him for 50 million, so I'm not really too sure why they have signed him back, because it does make a lot of mistakes. He is a good defender on his day, and he's very good at shooting from range. You may have seen a video I did a while ago recreating a goal he did score, but yeah, it's quite a lot to pay for him. Tell me what you think of that in the comments down below. But for FIFA, that is great. He's going to be getting a hyperlink to Ramirez on this game. Obviously not on FIFA 17, because he's moved to the Chinese league. He's going to get a hyperlink to Oscar. So many Brazilians who do play for for Chelsea, so good for building some hybrids. And also another Brazilian centre-back in the BPL is good, because at the moment we do only have Gabriel. We then have Joe Hart. Now this transfer here, no one saw this coming. He has actually moved to Torino. Now, for Ultimate Team purposes, this is great, because he is going to get some good links to one player who you will see later on in this video, but also he is going to be a good player to link the BPL to the Serie A for hybrids and stuff, which is pretty cool. And he's actually got a really good card. He's probably going to be upgraded to like 85 or 86 as well on FIFA 17 due to the goalkeepers in general going up ratings. So yeah, he should have a pretty good card next year. Looks pretty decent already. And yeah, hopefully it will be good for his career. Moving to Torino, getting some first team football, playing regularly. He'll probably be facing quite a few shots, because although Torino are kind of probably going to be challenging for like the top 4 in the Serie A, they have made some good signings and they are a decent team. They are going to be facing quite a lot of shots, so he should do a pretty good job there, hopefully. Managed to get his career back on track. We then have Moussa Sissoko, went for around £30 million to Spurs from Newcastle, and I mean, that is so much money for someone who got relegated last season. That is a crazy amount of money. I'm not really too sure if he is worth it. I don't really think he is, but comment what you think down below. Not sure if he's going to be a right mid or a central midfielder player on FIFA 17. It would be best probably if he was a centre mid, because 2-star skill moves and 2-star weak foot on a winger is not good at all. But he has got some very nice well-rounded stats, very good physical and pace, looks like a decent player. We then have Mustafi moving to Arsenal. At last, Arsene Wenger's actually bought some players. He actually bought 2, and I think you may probably see 2 of them in this video. I'm not sure if I have put the other one in. I'm sure you do know who I'm talking about. But yeah, Mustafi has moved to Arsenal. He's going to get a hyperlink to Mertesacker. I doubt many people are going to be using that, but he is going to get a hyperlink to Ozil. And in formations like the 4-3-2-1, sorry, he's going to get a hyperlink to Ozil in that formation, which is great for building hybrids, because you can easily add an extra league or an extra nation into that kind of formation just by using a hyperlink and then just a random left or right back from that league. So that's a pretty good player for building teams on FIFA 17. We then have Nasri. He's moved on loan to Sevilla. A bit of a interesting transfer. He's going to get a hyperlink to Tremulinas, who is a left back who is French and plays for Sevilla. So that is pretty good. And he's got a decent card on Ultimate Team, 83 rated. He'll probably get downgraded a bit on FIFA 17. But yeah, if he did move to being a central player as an attacking midfielder, that would be great. But I'm not really too sure about that. Then I have Claudio Bravo, obviously signed as a replacement for Joe Hart, perfectly suited to Pep Guardiola's playing style, and I really think that he should get upgraded because he's been great so far in the Liga BBVA for Barcelona over the past 2 seasons. Made, I think, the second most saves in both of those seasons for them, and also he was top in every single kind of passing stat for short passes played, passing accuracy, everything like that. And obviously he's won the Copa America now twice in a row. I think he did save the winning penalty as well in the Copa America final this year, so I think he should probably upgrade to like 86 or so. I'm not really too sure about that though. With the goalkeepers now getting upgraded, kind of he'd probably go to like an 84 with the normal ratings, but now goalkeepers and defenders are a lot higher rated. We then have Sillerson. Now he was signed as a replacement for Bravo. Interesting signing here. There aren't many Dutch players who do play in other leagues other than the Eredivisie, especially when it does come to defenders, but he's going to be decent for linking maybe Eredivisie teams to the BBVA, or possibly linking the Serie A with the defenders like De Vrij into the Liga BBVA. So a decent transfer there. He's got quite a good card on the game. We then have Loic Remy moving on loan to Crystal Palace. Now, he didn't really have the best of times at Chelsea. Back on FIFA 15, he was probably my favourite striker. So I've not really used him too much this year, but hopefully next year he's going to be a decent player. He's also going to get a hyperlink to Kabay. We then have Benteke, another new signing for Crystal Palace. I think they signed him for just under £30 million. A pretty expensive transfer for someone who didn't have the best of seasons for Liverpool, but I think that's mainly due to Liverpool's playstyle. I mean, he's a good player, he was good at Aston Villa, and he's going to get a good amount of goals. He's probably kind of a 10 to 15 goals per season kind of striker right now, but he's young, he could easily develop into a much, much better player. We then have Lucas Perez, another player signed by Arsenal, 4-star skill moves, probably going to get a decent upgrade next year as well. I mean, if he got just like 2 or 3 on each stat, he'd have an amazing card, which he could easily have. Like, he could easily go up to like 81 or so, because he'd have over 80 for pace, passing, shooting, and dribbling, and pretty high physical as well. So again, if he got some informs and stuff, he could actually have one of the best striker cards in the Premier League. 4-star skill moves, looks like a decent card, and he did have a team of the season card actually on FIFA 16 as well. Then I have Sirigu moving from PSG to Sevilla. I think this is a loan deal. It's a decent deal as well because Sevilla don't have many good goalkeepers. They have Sergio Rico, I think, who, although he had a great season, is likely to get upgraded. He's still probably only going to be like 80 rated, so if you do want to use people like Rami and also some of the decent centre-backs and other defenders such as Tremulinas who do play for Sevilla, he's going to be a good player for that. Also good for building hybrids because he is going to be able to link the Serie A into the Liga BBVA. Also players like Ogbonna and stuff like that, which is pretty decent. We then have Balotelli moving to Nice. Now, a lot of people are thinking that this is a really good deal, and I actually think this is an amazing deal for Nice because they actually managed to get him for free. And Balotelli, I mean, if they can get him to have like a good attitude towards football, he's going to be really good, and he's going to get them quite a few goals. If you do remember, they actually got Ben Arfa from, well, they actually got him from Hull, I think. He went straight from Hull to Nice. He was at Newcastle. Newcastle were the team that sold him, and Hull didn't want him. He wasn't good for Hull. Newcastle didn't want him. He was overweight. He just wasn't enjoying his football, and now he's become a world-class player playing for Nice. He's gone to PSG. You never know. They could do the same with Balotelli, and for free. I mean, they're not really losing out on anything. He's a player who has played very well in the past for Man City, and at just 26 years old, he could easily have another good amount of years playing some good football if he can kind of get his career back on track. We then have Jack Wilshere, great loan deal here for Bournemouth, managing to get him from Arsenal for a loan for a year. If he can stay fit, he's going to get a couple of goals. He's going to be a decent midfielder for Bournemouth right there, so that is a pretty good signing. Then have Dante moving to Nice. I think he's quite old now. He's nearing the end of his career. He was playing for Wolfsburg, I believe. He left Bayern Munich 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe even just last year. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, he's now moved to Nice. Also, we have Alvaro Arbeloa moving to West Ham, a proven defender. He's got a lot of experience. He used to be very, very good. He used to play for Liverpool, I think, when they won the Champions League. Played a lot for Real Madrid as well. Scored some decent goals for them too. But now with Carvajal becoming one of the best right backs in that league, he's not really been playing too much. So moving to West Ham is a good transfer because West Ham don't really have that many good defenders on Ultimate Team. Masuaku, if he gets a good upgrade, is going to be great because he's going to have like over 70 in every single stat. They don't really have a decent right back though. They definitely don't have a gold one. I think they've got like Jenkinson or someone like that. So Arbeloa is going to be a decent player for building some hybrids and stuff because now you can get a strong link to Ogbonna, who is a very, very good defender. We also have Nigel de Jong. Now he's moved to Galatasaray from, I believe, LA Galaxy, and he's now going to get a hyperlink to two players. The first one's going to be Schneider, and there's also a silver player. I think he's called Donk or something like that. I think he's called Ryan Donk, and he's quite a strong defensive midfielder, quite similar to Nigel de Jong, but silver card. So lots of different hyperlinks right there. We then have Wilfred Bonney. This is a great signing in my opinion, going to Stoke. They got him on a loan deal from City. Wasn't playing the best really for City. Wasn't playing that much when he did play. His finishing was awful. Like, he could hold the ball up. He could get in the good positions, but his finishing, he just would hit it hard. It would just go wide. It would just go over the bar. Not really too sure what was up with him. Just didn't really suit City's play style. Not the best of signings really from Pellegrini. So he's now gone out on loan to Stoke, and he's probably going to have a decent time there. Like, he does suit their play style pretty well. We then have Garay. Now he has gone to Valencia. He was the player I was talking about earlier on. And yeah, Garay, he was in the Russian league, which is a bit wasted, I think, because he is a good player. He's also, I believe, 30 years old, so he's still got a couple of years on him, and he's a solid defender. I mean, he's played for some decent teams. He was very good back on FIFA 14. I think he was playing for Sporting. He had a team of the season back then, if I do remember correctly. He was playing well back then. He also played in the World Cup final, I believe, as well. Like, he's a quality player, but he did then end up going to the Russian league, which isn't really the best move for your career, unless you're near the end of your career. And yeah, he still had a couple of years left, so moving to Valencia, in my opinion, is a pretty decent signing right there for them, and also for him. And finally, we do have, actually, I don't know if this is the final one, but nearing the end, we do have Leandro Castan. Now, he's moved from, I believe, Sampdoria. He went from Roma to Sampdoria, and he was there for like a couple of weeks. Now he's moved to Torino, so going to get a strong link to Joe Hart, and I'm not really too sure if this is a loan deal or what. It probably is, because I doubt Sampdoria will have signed him and then sold him on very quickly. He's got a decent card on Ultimate Team, great defending, good physical, decent pace, and good work rates. And yeah, actually, there we go. Was the last one. I was right. There we go. We're back to KONOPLYANKA. So looking at these cards, I think quite a few of them are quite rare on the market. So we've got Buffal there at 10,000 coins. Great card, though. If you haven't used him, definitely recommend him. KONOPLYANKA is not the most expensive player, but is a very, very good one. Would recommend trying him out. Pereira is quite expensive right now, but is a great card. Mangala, quite cheap actually, and he should be a good kind of starter team player. Might be a non-rare on FIFA 17. David Luiz is very, very expensive. It would be great if he was like a defensive midfielder or something on the next FIFA, though I doubt he will be. Sissoko, if he's a central player, is going to be great next year, but again, I'm not really too sure on that. Mustafi is going to be a decent player for building hybrids and stuff. Nasri, well, quite cheap for Nasri. Bravo, I don't know how much Bravo is. Probably going to be quite cheap. Yeah, he's about 7k. Sillerson as well. Well, Sillerson is pretty cheap. I think Sillerson came out slightly earlier than these players, but the reason it's been quite a while since EA last added players into the game is because they were waiting for this kind of whole new batch of players to get added into the game. So yeah, there are loads of new players. There are a couple more. I think there's Bass, Dost. There are a few more players now. People like Slimani, as I said, haven't yet been added, but I will do a video once they do get added. There are a couple of low rated players I haven't really talked about in this video, but I will in my next video. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. This video has been quite long. It's probably going to be a double upload. I'm not really too sure. I do actually have my setup video coming out either today or tomorrow. So yeah, it may be a double upload, may not be. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.